Good. Okay, welcome guys to our another episode. I'm G. Who don't know me, you might have to listen to the first episode. I'm an injured veteran as well. Today we have we've got Matt Arnold and Shane Rossall with us, who's going to share their stories. Without any delay, I'm going to go with Matt. Would you like to share your Army career with us, with your name first, please?
Yeah, good morning, guys. My dad was military, he was in the Navy, and we travelled around quite a lot. As with many marriages, my parents split up when I was very young. So I got separated from my other siblings and ended up moving up to Suffolk. And Suffolk, if anyone's ever been there, it's a lot of very small villages. I moved from school to school, so my education was disrupted. And I didn't want to be a carrot farmer. I didn't want to, stay in that small village. So I had a plan, and that plan was to join the military. And in the early days, you had junior leaders, so you could join at the age of 16. So I spoke to my mother, and we went to a recruiting office in Bury St Edmunds. I then signed up to go and join, and as soon as I finished school, after about 4 months, I was gone. And to be honest, I've never really returned to Suffolk except for visiting my parents. So at the age of 16, I did a year of junior leaders, and then went straight to my unit, which was Germany to start with. And at the age of 18, I was straight to the first Gulf War. The action that we saw out there and the stresses and strains at a very young age was, exciting, but also when you thought about it later on in life, quite traumatizing. Yeah. In those sort of temperatures, and wearing full NBC suit and respirator, sleeping in respirator, eating, drinking, at the age of 18. So I then, because I was quite a fit lad, I used to do a very quick BPFA and BFT. I joined 7 Para RHA, and that was the unit I stayed with until the end of my career. Being an airborne soldier, you got to see a lot more action than I ever anticipated. We ended up going to Bosnia, Kosovo, Sierra Leone, Macedonia, Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan, Northern Ireland, and pretty much everything that came our way, we ended pretty much out of camp within, from days to weeks. And obviously with all the training that you went through to then get to a level where you was able to achieve the aims, you tended to give up your home life quite a lot, which was detrimental to my first divorce. My wife couldn't really understand the things that we'd gone through, and it destroyed my first marriage, to the point where I nearly took my life a few times, and that was quite difficult at the time. It destroyed my relationship with my 2 children, which I haven't seen now for coming on 8 years. They're now 23 and 24, and they live with their mother. Or so I think. I don't even have an address. So regimental life, I absolutely loved. regimental life, being a single soldier, going in and out of camp, and the money that you had when you came back and the camaraderie that you had, was second to none. And I still in contact with a lot of them now. And as you go through your army career, you tend to pick up small clouds, which then, when I left, manifested into a full-scale storm. When you get your confidential reports each year, and they say that you're doing such a good job and recommended for promotions and all them types of things, you tend to not talk about the bad stuff. And us men are very good at hiding things away and suppressing our thoughts and feelings. After a few incidents parachuting, I smashed my left foot. I've done my knees in, my back's pretty much gone. I got crumbling vertebrae. I was 6 foot. I'm now a little bit shorter than that now. I'm about the size of Shane. So it's been an absolute roller coaster, and being an avid sportsman, you could tell that things were taking its toll. And I used to love going out and playing golf with the army and the regiment and competing, and that tended to fade away. And the injuries made it more and more difficult to play, and it wasn't enjoyable. Every swing was painful, so I just gave it up. And it's so easy to give things up and not do the things that you enjoy, and hide yourself away and not want to talk about things. And I'm very, very lucky to have someone like Rachel, my second wife, who we've been together now for over 11 years, who is so supportive, and she's been an absolute rock, and I love her to bits for that. Other people would run a mile, and she can empathise because she's a police inspector. She's seen quite a lot of trauma in her lifetime as well, so she has that little bit of empathy as well, which I drew a little bit of her experiences, and being able to talk about it a little bit more and freely, after years of therapy and tablets and pills and potions and people giving me advice over the years. I think I finally blew away some of the clouds, but there's still some hanging over my head, which obviously I've got to deal with. So that's pretty much my army career, 24 years, man and boy, institutionalized. People talk about that quite a lot, and it's true. You are institutionalized, and when you leave, you feel very lonely, and you're pretty much not a part of that team anymore. And with the regiment being so busy and personalities changing every couple of years, you tend to get forgotten about. And with them being now in Colchester, that was the case. Me being down south and then being up, in Colchester, it's quite a way to travel, and you tend to get forgotten about quite a lot. Do meet a lot of friends at Army Navy each year. Obviously not this year, but it's like you've never left when you get to talk and chat to them. And I've had a lot of them reach out and obviously help me out the last couple of years, which has been very grateful, and they know who they are. But I wouldn't change anything that I've done in my army career. It's made me who I am now, even though slightly damaged. But I've had a full career, and I've got to the rank of WO1, which not many people do. And, I know my parents are proud. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
Well, that's great. Matt, cheers, man. Thank you.
Top that, eh?
Yeah.
Over to you.
Over to Shane Rossall.
Yeah, yeah, I'm Shane Rossall. Like Matt, from a young age, really, I didn't really have much apart from my parents, who separated when I was young as well. So, going through school, I was a bit of a naughty boy. Didn't really have much drive at school, and I spoke to my granddad one day, and he said, "Have you ever thought about the military?" And I was like, "No, uh, that's not me," because I didn't do anything like cadets or anything like that at school. So I just had a looked at the careers office as I walked past that was in my local town, and I knocked on the door and I said, "I'd like to know more about the army." And they invited me in, and that was it. But the rest is history. They gave me a little leaflet. I went home, told my mum and dad that I wanted to join the army, and they said, "Yeah, you ought to stick it out. You don't want to be doing that." So from that moment, and my friends as well, they said, "Oh yeah, you'll never stick it out. You won't last in the army. It's not you." And so from that, when these people told me that, I was like, "Right, that's it. I'm going to prove you wrong." So yeah, I joined the military when I was just 17 and a half. I went through basic training, so straight from school. I went through Para RHA, did the phase 1, then I went to phase 2 at Larkhill. I had an injury in Larkhill. I broke my tib and fib playing football for my sins. So I had a long time at phase 2. And then I joined 47 Regiment, which was based down at Thorney Island. They were air defence regiment. I was there for 5 years. Did one operational tour. It was more of a UN tour, which was to do with the peacekeeping for the Turkish Cypriot side of the island. It was still an operational tour. It's very exciting. I was like Matt. I was 18 on my first operational tour. So yeah, that was quite interesting. A lot of time at Thorney Island at 47 was mainly training because we were an air defence regiment. We didn't really have an operational role as such until Op Telic and Op Herrick happened. But then I moved to Larkhill to 32 Regiment RA, which was a UAV regiment, and I was there for 15 years. So from February 2005 to January 2019, when I was medically discharged. While I was at 32, I did 6 operational tours. One of Iraq and then 5 Afghanistan tours, which was very interesting. Being the only UAV regiment within the British Army, we were basically hammered and back to back tours. Basically, you'd go on tour, do a 7-month tour, come back, have a bit of R&R, and then back into training for the next tour in the next 7 months. So it was quite a busy time. And I was. It's funny. I got through all my tours without being injured. I was very lucky not to be injured on tour. Come back in 2013 playing rugby for my regimental team, and that's when my injury occurred. Initially, it was wear and tear, but the actual impact injury from the rugby game totally blew out my knee, and I had to have initial keyhole surgery.
Yeah.
So that impacted on my military career. So it kind of halted from 2013 till I was medically discharged, going through. I had 2 medical boards, 3 operations on my knee, in constant rehab on and off the boat, trying to stay in the military world, because I didn't really have anything else. I didn't know anything else from the military. As Matt said, being institutionalised is something that not a lot of people will really know about, and to have that come to an end because of an injury, it sucks basically, and it's quite hard to think forward into the future as a mental gauge of what you're going to do, because I didn't know anything apart from the military. I loved everything, loved the guys and the girls that I worked with, loved all the training, loved going away on tour, loved being away on tour really, because that's the only time you can really do your job. You go through your training, you do all your RD duties, but going away on tour is what it's all about really. It's you doing your job as you know, as a soldier. So yeah, my military career from 2013 kind of stopped. I lost motivation. I didn't want to be. I wasn't a soldier because I couldn't do anything that a soldier could do. All my mates were cracking on and doing tours, getting promoted, going past me that I'd been in training with. They were overtaking me. So I just hit a low really, and yeah, like I said, my military career stopped in 2013 when I got injured, and I had quite a big battle trying to stay mentally focused and concentrate on things. Yeah, and that's pretty much my military career without going on further, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? With the injuries, it doesn't matter. It's combat or no combat.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's just like Matt said. You know, he had an injury with the combat. That's a combat injury, but yours is non-combat, but it's still affecting you though. That's the thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
mentally.
Same way as any other person, you know, who had a combat injury. I reckon it's the same, which is mental as well for you. You know, it's quite difficult to actually. It's difficult to explain it to the people, especially to the civilian people. It's quite hard.
Especially when it's not like, you know, you can't see the injury as well, because my injury is, you know, it's a knee injury. I've had a knee replacement, but not a lot of people can see that because you know, I walk all right. I've got a little bit of a strut, but you know, that's some people. What's wrong with you? Why are you? For me, it was like, why are you going to be part of OCF? That's, for me, it was like, yeah, you don't deserve to be part of it, because I wasn't used to that kind of side of it.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. You know, I've got used to it now, and the people that do know me, that I've kept in contact with, friends wise, and through OCF as well, they're the ones that understand. You find out. I found out who my true friends are because of Andre. I found out who my true friends are that I've stayed in contact with. It's just not a lot of people. So yeah, it just is what it is. You just got to get on with life and move forward. And you know, everyone who I'm in comms with, including yourself, you know, it's just that little hello, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Hug when we're allowed to. That, you know, it just keeps you going.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you know, that's the thing with the OCF. We have so many different injuries, and then different members, got different injuries. And I think we never talk about it. If I meet you in a on-course event, I won't ask you what happened to you.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm gonna judge you. I'm not gonna judge you like, you know, why he's using buggy. He's got 4 limbs. Why he's using buggy? It's not my business. And plus, it's different. You know, it's just, that's the thing I like about OCF is, you know, we don't judge anyone. You know,
that's the beauty of it, and that's what's kept me coming back, to be honest. And that it's helped me mentally as well. You know, it's along with a lot of other things, but you know, OCF has been, and it'll be a good chunk of that.
Yeah,
it's also inspiring as well. You know, you see some of the guys, especially the amputees, that still swing and play competitively. And take Bish, for example, you know, single figure handicap. You know, that just inspires me to want to be involved and play. And you know, like Shane was saying, you don't talk about the injuries and that. You can see some, and the guys that have got PTSD, they've obviously been in a situation that's affected them mentally, and you know, they talk when they want to talk. And you know, I'm great at giving out advice, and I'm always doing it to other golfers, giving out great advice about your mental health. And sometimes I don't even take it. I don't take my own advice. And my wife would say, "You're a hypocrite. You know, you tell everybody what to do and how to do it, and you don't do it yourself." But that's the leadership side of me that comes out, wanting to help other people. But you know, I also need that input from other people to help my situation, for me to take their advice. So it's a huge balance where we all quite inspire each other. And when you see someone swing a golf and, you know, and they're playing some fantastic shots, or, you know, having a bad day, you're able to just pick them up again and bring them round. And, you know, when we play our scrambles at the end, it doesn't matter who plays the bad shot. You know, we're a team, and it's a leveler. You know, it really is.
True. The best thing is the scramble, isn't it? Texas scramble is the best.
It's just a good.
And,
especially if you've got Shane in your team.
Just go for it.
The way he hits the ball, oh, mate.
All I got, though. It's all I've got.
All right, I'm going to change the subject to golf now. So, so Matt, obviously you played golf before. So how different is it now after your injury? You know, before you played golf, but now it's different because obviously you're playing with your injury. How different it is?
When I first started playing, I played with my. I used to take the dog out for a walk down the field up in Scotland and take a 7-iron, which was called Club Malibu. And every time you hit a ball, it changed from a 7 to probably a sand wedge, you know, instantly, because it was so soft. And you know, I was always playing hockey and rugby and football and things like that. So you got an eye for, you know, the ball and techniques and that sort of thing. And when we used to go on batters tours to Canada, we used to go and hire clubs, and you know, it used to be a social thing, taking a couple of beers and swinging some higher clubs that weren't fitted to you. And I got a little bit of the bug then. You know, a couple of places you'd not want to join a club, but you still wanted to play. So you'd have a little society going, that sort of thing. When I was down at Bovington, we had a great society down there, which gave me a good buzz. Used to do little tours to Spain, Portugal, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But you know, I suppose when I did get my injuries, it became evidence that I weren't able to walk or put weight on my left foot. My knees hurt and my back was not allowing me to twist. The doctor said, you know, you can have it fused if you wanted, but if you wanted to play golf, you probably wouldn't be able to swing a golf club. So I just opted for pain relief. Some days I'm fine, and then some days you know, it's like yesterday I played in a league match, which we just have a little bit of fun on a Wednesday evening, and this morning I was bent over and I couldn't really walk very well. So it swings and roundabouts. After I came back from Sanford Springs, I was walking like an old man.
A million painkillers as well.
Yeah. It's like the old doctor used to say, just take a couple of ibuprofen and soldier on. But but golf for me, when I was at Combat Stress, I think it was about 2014 that you walked up to me, G, and said, have you ever played golf before? And I said, well, yeah, I have. I played golf, you know, years ago. And I had a 7-year break from playing golf. I had a set of clubs that were in the shed, and that's where they stayed. So you said, well, why don't you come up to the range? So we headed up to the range, and it was quite nice to be able to swing a bat and hit a few okay shots. And then you said come to a couple of events. Looked into OCF then, and that inspired me to want to do a little bit more, because I saw people on the website, and when I met people that had limbs missing and maybe in a worse condition than I was, I thought, well, what's stopping me? Yeah. Why shouldn't I be able to compete anymore? Even though my handicap may go up, which it did. It went from a single figure handicap to 17, which is a very handy handicap to have, you know. But you know, it's soon come tumbling down. Yeah. So I then found a part-time job, which was only 1 day a week at Hampworth Golf Club, working in a pro shop. I also, with my skills, was doing some greenkeeping, and got stuck in. And because they found out that I was actually quite a all-rounder, I then, when lockdown happened, there was only myself and the master greenkeeper, Tim, that were actually doing any work. So that was on a voluntary basis. And I basically worked every day for the whole of lockdown, keeping the course in good condition, doing course maintenance, holotine, sanding. And I did go on the range a few times, but don't tell anybody. All right. You know, working back in the pro shop, I'm now doing 3-4 days a week. So I've been absorbed into the club, and they have been very understanding of, if I'm having a bad day, they'll say, well, don't come in. Or, you know, if I need that break, they're very understanding and say, go and take a break, go early, or they'll have a chat, because they're very au fait with mental health and OCF, as you've seen when the boys came down and had a good day at Hampworth.
Oh yeah, great club as well. Great course.
Oh, great place.
Yeah, Shane really enjoyed it.
I love it there. A little hidden gem it is, little hidden gem.
Yeah. Actually, it was. He lost a couple of balls there, so.
I think 2.
Well, yeah, not bad.
2's not bad.
Yeah. Played only 9 holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, cheers, man. Yeah, Shane. You played before golf? No, never.
Not. So yeah, before I was into all sports really. Again, like Matt, football, rugby, hockey, cricket, basketball, all like the orienteering and stuff like that kind of stuff. That was my bag really. I never really was interested in golf, because I thought in my head it was a bit of a boring game, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's
same. That's the same. Yeah.
And then my friend, obviously you know Matt Brown anyway. I saw his a Facebook post that he put on. This was post my injury, that he was playing golf. I didn't even know he had his injury, and that he was an amputee, and that he was going through it. I never even knew that. I lost track of him for about 4 or 5 years. So I seen his post, seen about OCF, looked on the website, then went to American Golf, bought a set of clubs, and I thought, right, I'm going to have a look at this. Wasn't very good, to be honest, not going to lie. But you know, I stuck at it. I joined a club up in Salisbury, the High Post. I put 3 cards in. I got my first handicap, and I started on 28, which was, you know, it was what it was. And I thought, right, I'm going to see about getting on these events that Mike's been talking about. So I applied for my first event, and I think my very first event was Cumberwell Park. Okay. You know, and since then, really, golf has been my main sport really that I do now, because I can do it with my injury. And the first event I met Di Llewellyn, you know, great bloke, great coach, and he was watching my swing, and I thought I had a good swing and I had a good setup, but I didn't, because my injury was restricting me a little bit on my movement. So he adapted my swing, adapted my stance, and from that day it's just kind of worked for me really. And you know, I worked on getting my handicap down. Once I was going through a medical discharge process, I moved to where I am now in Bournemouth, and I joined a local club there. So I had to get my handicap again. And yeah, I slowly started working my way down. I got down to 21 after for the first 3 cards I put in. Because my handicap had lapsed from my previous course, so I put another a set of cards in, got down to 21, and then slowly started chipping away. And through an on-course event at American Golf, it was like an insight day. We just went up there just to Warrington to HQ to see how American Golf worked and what it was all about and how the fitting worked, etc. And they offered us OCF members some like volunteer work or like experience work in one of the stores. So I contacted the recruitment woman, I can't remember her name now, Diane I think her name was, for American Golf, and she said, yeah, we've got a slot open at the Bournemouth store for 3 weeks if you're interested. So yeah, I jumped on the chance at American Golf, got involved in sales and in club fitting and watching how they were doing, how they fitted the put in on the Sam Lab. And I was lucky enough that they offered me a 0-hour contract there to work in store as a sales assistant. Yeah. And again, working within golf itself was just, yeah, it was a new experience to me. Didn't really know much about it. I was learning every day. And then I got my handicap down to a 10, which I'm playing off now because of that and all the events that I've been to with OCF, you know, and having the constant coaching and having the lads rip me for a bad shot has helped me in my game, trying to get it better. Even though I've had an injury, you know, it doesn't stop me from doing it, which has been amazing, to be honest. Yeah, and that's where I'm at a minute. But last year I had my knee replacement surgery.
That's what I was about to ask. You just had an operation, isn't it?
Yeah, so I had a full knee replacement on my right knee.
How is it affecting your golf though? Is that...
To be honest, it hasn't affected it much. It's just messed up my swing and my stance.
Yeah.
Because my injury was obviously restricting a normal swing and a normal stance. Now I've had my knee replacement, I can almost feel as though I can have a normal stance, but now that's affecting my swing. So I need to dial back and get me squared away again. But it's not mentally. It's when I first went back onto the range, I was a bit sceptical, like, oh, how are you going to do this? You know, is your knee going to be able to cope with it? So I went on the range, hit 50 balls. The next day I was in a little bit of pain. But obviously that's the first time I swung a club for 7 months. So, you know, it was quite hard to think mentally that I could do it. Yeah. But with the physio that I had and everything else, it just rolled on, and really, and my swings got better. You know, I feel a bit more confident now when I'm taking a shot. My swing speed hasn't changed. I think that will change. Because all I want to do is just hit the ball as far as I can. But yeah, it's getting better.
I saw you hitting the ball.
You know, and it'll get better, and the more I'll go on the range. I think I've only had, because of the last event, I think I've had 8 rounds of golf now since my knee replacement. Yeah. So it's only going to get better, and doing more events and getting on more stuff, you know, will help that. So it's good. And golf has massively, you know, it's given me something to do and enjoy. Yeah. You know, not take it too seriously, but serious enough to be crossing myself when I hit that bad shot, or laugh at somebody else when they hit a bad shot. It just is what it is, you know. It's always going to be there. Now golf's going to be there until whenever. Until I can't swing a club again.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, as a rugby boy, you said it's quite. At first, I thought the golf is saying, like, you know, must be for weak people, old people, or maybe, you know, just for officers, or, you know, maybe retired people. That's what I thought when I saw, you know, thought about playing golf. But later you just realize it's more to it, like, you know, it's more to it. And plus, it is, isn't it? Like, and plus, as you said, after injury, do you think, like, as Matt said as well, like, you know, he has to change everything. So you used to play golf. Now you have to change a couple of bits and bobs to play golf. You think it's hard, or is it easy if you played golf before?
I don't know really, because I've been quite sporty anyway. I think that helps massively. But golf is definitely technically the hardest sport I've ever played, ever, because it's just technically you've got to do everything that millimeter wrong. Your shot's going left or right or short or long or whatever. Or you're going to duff a shot, but I don't think I've had to play golf previously to be good at golf and be accepted as a decent standard golfer, because anybody can learn anything if they put their mind to it. If you're committed and you have the right people around you and the right coaches giving you the right advice, and all them lads just pushing you as well, saying, I think people that are lower in handicap for me push me along as well, because I think if they can do it, then why can't I do it? That's my mentality on it, really.
How about you, Matt? Do you think you played golf before? Now you have to change, you have to change a couple of things to get back into the golf, like your stance or your swing and everything because of your injury. Do you think
mentally, I found it so infuriating. Being a single figure handicap, then having the issues that I have with my foot, my knee, and my back, I tended to want to play like I used to. And then obviously when you couldn't, that for me was mentally challenging. And I found it infuriating when I couldn't play to my handicap. And obviously going back to being from a 9 to a 17, and then working my way back down, and I'm now back to 11. So I'm only a couple of shots off where I was before injury. So, and I think a lot of that is having to change my swing. The good coaching that I've had from Alistair over the years, and Di and Richard, I must have seen Alistair more times this year than anybody during lockdown than when I do on a normal year. And obviously when we did the Simpson Cup, he was always there to give advice. And he could see that I was overcompensating, and he'd say, just try this. And he would just tweak me ever so slightly. Before you know it, I'll be like, oh, that works. So I'd incorporate it and think about it. I think when you do start playing bad golf, it starts getting into your head. You can see people getting infuriated and angry. And I've never been one to throw my clubs around or hit the floor or anything like that. I may say a naughty word every now and then, but I would tend to brush it off and just go, right, okay, that was a bad shot. Next one's the most important shot. And I try to work on that mental side. There's a fair few golf coaching books that I've been reading about the mental side of golf. And 99.9% of it is true. If you allow it to get into your head, then it will destroy your game. And if you just play every shot as it's the most important shot on the round, and it was evident last weekend. We had the Hampworth Beast Open, and I went round the first round at 34 points, and I didn't particularly play well. And then the next round, I said, right, every shot is the most important shot, and I hit 40 points. So I'm not saying it'll work for everybody, but it is a big thing to look into. And if people could improve their mental health and the way they approach a shot with a certain routine, then their golf will improve. And it's evident that people with injuries, it's not only difficult to swing a club when you've got a leg that won't move, or you've got an arm missing, or you've got PTSD or like me, really bad tinnitus, which, you know, is awful any time of the day, or a stiff back, is how to just always warm up. You know, you don't have to hit balls to warm up. You know, make sure that you do your stretches and, you know, from your wrists, your arms and your back and your knees and your feet, and then go in with a positive attitude. So where do I want this? You know, where's my target? And focus on that rather than everything else that's going on around you. And if you have negative thoughts, you're going to have a negative outcome. You know, that's the way I look at it. And if I have a positive outcome and it goes wrong, then, oh, well, at least I've had, you know, the setup and everything right, and I've just done something wrong, but maybe try something on the next shot. Yeah. And that's the way I look at golf now. Yeah. And thanks to Alistair for all the great tips, and Richard for those swing thoughts. You know, it's improved my golf.
It's true, the golf is helping. Mentally, it's quite tough. Yeah. Mentally, it's really tough to play golf, actually. When you have a bad shot, especially if you have PTSD, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, you know, PTSD.
Seen some funny things from people that throwing the clubs in the tree or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names, honest.
I've seen it. I've seen it on OCF events.
I've seen it on 3. Yeah, I'm not going to name the names on this forum, unfortunately.
You done the Sanford Springs event, isn't it, together?
Yeah, we did, roomies.
Yeah, last month. Is that last month?
Yeah, last month, yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, great event.
Back, isn't it?
My first one back from like for a 3-day event, my first one back from having my knee up, and to be back in that bubble again and back with everyone, and again not talking about my injury. It was more just about having a golf, playing golf, having a laugh, and being together again. And obviously with the restrictions that were in place because of the current climate, it was difficult to be in the bubble, but you know, and be sensible with it all. It was different, but it was still the same people, the same banter, the same golf. Yeah. You know, and like Matt said about Alistair, is his coaching on that event was, you know, a credit to him and everyone else that was there doing it, or he was doing it for. Yeah, but it was a good event. Matt, you're a bandit though. Fact, you are a bandit, 100%. Or I just need to not play bad golf.
Did you play together?
The first day, didn't we?
No, we was in our little bubble, weren't we?
Oh yeah, for the first 2 days, and then yeah. Matt got 2 drinks, you know, because their pair won on the match play. So yeah, that was good. Definitely.
Yeah, my partner helped when my back went after 9 holes. You know, he did actually start turning up to play, didn't he?
What was it?
Oh, we had
Nathan
Brewer.
Oh, Nathan Brewer. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
he's a bandit as well, I tell you.
Yeah, he is, isn't it? Yeah.
Full on bandit.
Yeah.
Right, every bad shot he had, he would find the ball, and then his next shot, he'd stick it 6 foot from the pin. Just it was one of those days, I think.
Who is your partner?
I think it's all about gelling with your partner.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
I obviously gelled with my partner, and you didn't.
Well, yeah, Pete was carrying me for a while. I had Pete Wythe, and I think it's Wythe. Is it how you say his surname?
White, isn't it? Yeah, White.
Yeah. He was carrying me a little bit for the second day. So yeah, that didn't help. Self-inflicted, I may add. What other things?
So Matt, you played Simpson Cup. How was the experience? Plus, you know, if you want to talk about this a bit, Simpson Cup. Yes.
It was the most nerve-wracking thing that I've ever done in my life. It is like being in a Ryder Cup, playing for your country, and the pride and the honour, and knowing that we was going into it, 4-3, where the Americans had won the last couple. I'd never experienced anything like it in my life. And to play at St Andrews was always a dream, to play those courses. And we played 3 of the courses that are up there. And I also, we had 4 rookies. We had me, Kate, young lad, Cy Jones. And we were, and the Scottish lad, Highlander.
Chris Patterson?
Chris Patterson. So there was us 4 that were the rookies, and for all of us to come in with the points. And my partner, Dave, he was inspirational to me. He was always telling me, right, calm down, stick it here, put that, do this. He was a very low handicapper. And, for me to have a partner that was such a stalwart, to give me that, inspire me to play some of the best golf that I'd ever played. And then to win my singles match, playing on the old course, was absolutely amazing. The concentration on every shot that we played, and to win there, I hope that everybody that is a part of OCF inspires to qualify and play in at least one Simpson Cup, because not only does it bring you closer as a team, but those events will live with you forever, and you will gain so much confidence, and you will find so many new friends, not only in the UK, but in America also. It's one of those events where you are representing your country, you play your best golf, and you're not letting anybody down if you lose. And everybody was so gelled. It was unbelievable. And the funniest thing that we had when we had our little group meetings in the evening at the bar, everybody screwed the nut. They had maybe 1 or 2 drinks, and then they'd be off to bed or have a massage or do something. And the Americans came over with a big tray of single malt and said, "Hey, our boys, well done today. Here's a drink." And everybody just looked at him and said, "We're not touching that," But then once everything had finished and the dust had settled, people could then relax. And I remember bringing 3 of the guys back in my van, and we had a roundabout outside the officers' mess. All the cars and the Americans and that were all pulling up at pretty much the same time, and some of our players. And I put on the stereo, "We Are the Champions" by Queen, and we kept on going round and round the roundabout with the windows open, until the music had finished, and everyone was just laughing their heads off. And that's how we felt afterwards, because that adulation and that relief of winning the Simpson Cup on the home soil at the home of golf was, right up there in the best event that I've ever had in my life. And I hope that everybody that's a part of OCF would take the opportunity to qualify and to have a go, and stick it to the Americans.
Yeah. Shane, you're gonna try for next year?
Yes, it all depends on
Invictus, isn't it?
Yeah, it all depends on dates and how they fit in with my Invictus game schedule. But yeah, 100%. My ultimate goal, whether it's next year or the next one after that, is to compete in the Simpson Cup. Like Matt said, it should be everyone's drive, to get in there. It's a one in a lifetime opportunity, no matter where you're playing, whether it be over in America or in the UK, to be in that situation where you're again representing your country. It's going to be something that I'm going to strive to do. Let's see what the dates are next year.
Yeah. Are you still training for the Invictus though?
Yeah, still training. It's been a bit difficult, really, obviously, because the gyms have been closed, the clubs have been closed. But just keeping on top of it and ticking over. That's one thing that's again kept me going for because of the injury and being in that bubble of the camaraderie that not all the anybody will ever know about the military family life, because it's just one of those things that you have to be in it to understand it.
True.
We could tell a story to anybody of where we've been, what we've done, but even still, they'll never ever know what being there at that moment in time is like. Not at all. But it's the training's going to start picking up again now. Hopefully, with all the clubs and the gyms being open, and bring on the Hague next year, like with you. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We need to get our finger out and get some training going on.
Yeah, have to. All right, guys. I'm going to ask I've got time is running out anyway, so just one question for both of you. What is your highest point from the time since you started playing golf? Something memorable, or maybe something anything.
For me, being offered a place, to go to Orlando and join the Americans for a week. What an experience! When being so new to the organisation as well, and being only there for I think it was about a year and a half or whatever, to be offered that, showed me that it doesn't matter how long you've been there, who you are, what your injury is. It doesn't matter. It's not. Oh, he's only been here a year. We're not going to invite him, or he's only got this injury. It's the fact that everybody's the same, and the picture of everyone is the same. And to go on that event in America and experience some of the courses out there, to meet up the Americans, and the coaching we had out there was, again, second to none. And it was just a different way of playing golf. Handicap didn't mean anything out there. Your handicap didn't mean anything because it was a totally different way of playing golf. And, you had to change a lot of things out there as well. But that for me, since starting golf, that's been the highlight of my golfing career, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. How about Matt? Not the Simpson Cup.
Nah.
I was going for the simple answer.
Surely sharing a room with me was your greatest highlight, no?
Lack of hugs, mate. So no. I think the highlight for me was, I think you coming up to me when I was at Combat Stress and inviting me to come onto the range to reignite that fire. To be able to play again, and to show me that it doesn't matter what injury you have, the handicap system is there to help you to compete and still be able to play the game. And working now in the industry, I feel like I'm up the golf club 24/7. I should really get a room up there, but it's one of those jobs where it gives you confidence. I'm a people person, so it deflects all of my bad times and brings out the good in me, and it makes me feel like I'm myself again. And just doing the small events and meeting the guys and seeing some of the new faces and being able to bring them on, because I've been with Simpson Cup. I've been with OCF now for a while, I feel like I'm a bit of an old guy now.
You are.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. So I actually feel that I'm helping other people from where I was to try and inspire to be where I am now, which is in a better place. And OCF has done that for me, and it's put me into a community where I'm actually enjoying being a part of and enjoy every event that I go to, and I can't get enough of it, and I wish there was more going on, but and obviously I don't ever believe in free lunches, and it makes me want to raise money and get events at our club, and all the captain's money is going to OCF this year. I've been making these metal owls and paintings, and to raise money for OCF, so we can continue. So it has changed my life for the better. That's got to be a highlight.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. This thing is just it's a small thing when people say, "Oh, golf can change life." It is, isn't it? For me as well, same thing. But whenever we go to the combat stress, I just tell people that you need to come to the event. Just be brave once.
Yeah.
And just do it,
Because they'll never know at the time.
It's obviously when you are injured, obviously mentally or any other injury, you are really down, and it's hard to get to that event, isn't it? It's really hard. So I just always encourage them to just say one event, and you'll be, after 3 days, you'll be like, when can I get back, to the other event? That's the thing.
And start saving money.
Yeah. It's true. Anyway, thanks guys for your time and sharing your stories.
Good to see you both again.
Yeah, I'll see you. You coming Cumberwell Park?
No, I've had to pull out, mate. Okay.
We'll make something. Habworth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Maybe see you all in September, Matt. Next week, I think it is, isn't it, or a week after?
September the 17th, I think it is that weekend.
I'm trying to get up there with Pete, so I'll let you know. But
okay.
Get up there.
Okay. Yeah. You're always welcome.
Yeah.
Anyone that's OCF that wants to come down and play our course, I'll always make sure that you get looked after. We had Billy Webb come up, and he loved it. So if I can do it for one, I'll do it for others. Make sure that you just give me a buzz and let me know, or text me, and I'll get you on there, and we'll have a day out.
Yeah. If any OCF members are listening to this, here we go.
Get yourself down to Antwerp. It's a beast, literally.
Anyway, cheers, guys.
Take care, boys. Have a good day. Stay safe.
Bye.
Stay safe. Bye now.
I'll just
love you.
Okay. Yeah. Cheers, Matt. Thank you very much for your time, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Bye.